at 6. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Jen Bernstein.
And I'm Ben Goldman. The snow has finally arrived here in Connecticut. Much of the state waking up to several inches of snow. This was the scene very early this morning in Hartford, covered in white, as you can see.
Yeah, and now the calm after the storm, taking a live look over Hartford right now. No more snow falling out there.
But there is more snow in the forecast later on this week. It feels like we waited all winter long, and now winter's deciding to come all at once. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us. Hi, Rach.
Go figure. And for snow lovers, it's better late than never. But the next storm that's on the way will not just bring snow, but it looks like snow, sleet, rain, a combination of all different types of precipitation. So enjoy the beautiful white that we have going on out there right now as this system continues to move out, taking the flakes along with it. We got a fairly widespread 4 to 8 inches of snow, 4 in Killingworth, 5.5 in Franklin, and we're talking about 5.5 inches in North Haven. And there were some areas that got up around 7, even close to 8 inches. Simsbury, Burlington, Coventry, up around 7 inches. Now as we head through the evening tonight, temperatures will certainly be dropping back below freezing, and there could be some patchy areas of black ice. Luckily, the roads have been treated and retreated, so I'm not expecting widespread issues later tonight, but anything that isn't treated, doesn't have some salt down, may turn slippery later on, so it wouldn't hurt to throw some salt or sand on your front steps, for example, before you go to bed tonight. Temperatures will be dropping back through the 20s. Tomorrow, that's where we start. We begin the day with some sunshine. Heading through the afternoon, we'll see increasing clouds. And between around 4 and 7 p.m. tomorrow, there is a chance for a spot shower or a snow shower in spots. For most of the state, it's not a big deal, but again, that could lead to a sneaky, slippery spot later tomorrow night. But overall, the big takeaway is turning much warmer. 40s tomorrow, 50s during the day on Thursday, and then we're watching for that chance for a wintry mix later Friday into Saturday. We'll talk about what we're expecting here moving forward. Lots to iron out now that the pattern's more active. Your full forecast coming up.
Okay, Rachel, thank you very much. And now that the storm has passed, we are left with wet roads that could become slick as those temperatures drop tonight.
Fox 61's Carmen Chow has been checking out the cleanup process throughout the state. She joins us live in Hartford. Carmen, what's it like out there tonight?
Well, Ben and Jen, so far there is no sight of snow. All of that snow has officially left Connecticut, but our next concern is the potential for some of those icy roads. So these trucks could be back out on the road salting those roads. And also, if you still have to shovel yourself out of your driveway, a doctor I spoke to has some of these friendly tips.
The roads were slippery.
Mark Owens and his team of 17 snowplow drivers were called in at 8 last night, pre-treating the roads before the bulk of it started coming down. But their work is not done, as temperatures are expected to dip to the 20s, creating icy roads.
We're going to schedule people to come back, 5 trucks tomorrow morning. Before the school start, there'll be 5 trucks going out at 4:30 in the morning.
Just minutes away in Coventry is the well-known Bread and Milk Street. This father of 3 was busy snowblowing, while of course taking a break to enjoy some milk and homemade bread.
I like it. I was looking forward to maybe like a big storm and then kind of ready for spring.
His 2 sons had a half day of remote learning and spent the rest of the afternoon burning some calories.
When I first came out here, I was wondering if it was just powder snow, but then it was harder, so then we thought of like making a hill down.
Speaking of calories, doctors say shoveling snow can be a workout, but it also can be dangerous if not done correctly.
Make sure that you're taking off a little bit of snow at a time. Don't try to go for those huge chunks because that's going to cause a lot of strain on your joints and potentially on your back.
And just another friendly reminder, make sure you clean all of that snow off of your car, especially the roof of your car, or you could be slapped with a $120 fine. I'm live in Hartford. Carmen Chow, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Carmen. Several accidents this morning as the roads got pretty slick. Fox 61 catching some of those crashes this morning. In New Haven, a messy drive on 91 northbound. Multiple cars were involved in a crash there. Drivers dealing with slow-moving, bumper-to-bumper traffic. Then on Route 40 in North Haven, crews responded to a tractor-trailer crash. This happening near exit 1 just after 7 o'clock this morning. And then in Cheshire, a car crashed right into a wall right on Route 10 by Lanyon Drive. No word on any injuries in any of these crashes. All of the crashes do remain under investigation tonight.
A shootout in the East Rock neighborhood of New Haven sent 10 schools into lockdown yesterday, and tonight police have an update on who may have been involved. Fox 61's New Haven County Bureau reporter Julia LeBlanc joining us live right now with the details for us. Julia, we're hearing that they've made some arrests.
Absolutely, they have. Police have arrested and charged 2 teens that they believe are connected to this case. They've both been hit with weapons charges, a 19-year-old from New Haven and an 18-year-old from Bridgeport. But police tell us they're just waiting on one last piece of evidence to make sure that they are, in fact, connected to the shootout that happened yesterday morning. Now, in the meantime, we spoke with a lot of East Rock neighbors, and they are truly just shaken up by all of this. Local police scanners catching the moment 23 rounds were fired in a matter of minutes in the East Rock neighborhood of New Haven. It all happened just before 9 a.m. on Monday.
It's disturbing and upsetting, but it takes a while to sink in.
Eric Brunstad has lived here for 2 years. Every once in a while, he says something bad happens, but nothing like this.
Yeah, it was early in the morning. I was just getting up and getting ready for the day, and I heard this loud banging, and I just assumed it was a car backfiring as it was going down the street.
Turns out it was a shootout. Police say 2 cars, an Acura and a Dodge Durango, were chasing each other and shooting at one another. They traveled to multiple blocks in the city, but mainly it all happened on Livingston and Lawrence Streets and on Whitney Ave.
There was a lot of rounds. It's not a good situation when you have 23 rounds in a residential area.
I just wanted to acknowledge that it was really, a real scary event for the community.
Police say the bullets struck at least 1 car sitting on the street, but didn't hurt anyone. 10 area schools were placed on lockdown until the scene was safe. Neighbors say it happened right as kids were on their way to class.
There's some people I know that live around here. They have 3 kids. They're at the bus stop.
Later, police found the Acura in Fairhaven with several bullet holes. They say that car was stolen out of Hamden the day before. They recovered the other car, too. Police surrounded the suspects at a home in Hamden where they found 2 more illegal guns, which they believe could be connected to other crimes.
The people involved were well known to us, so we do think that this will match a lot of gunfire that has occurred in the city.
Now, police tell us the 2 teens have been charged with criminal possession of a weapon, carrying a pistol without a permit, carrying those guns in cars, and also larceny of a motor vehicle. Once again, police right now are just waiting on those lab results to come back so that they can make sure that the guns the teens were found with do match the bullet casings that were found on the scene of the shootout. Once we learn that, we will, of course, update you on their names. For now, we are live here in New Haven tonight. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Julia, thank you. Happening today, the issue of how and where to create more affordable housing was front and center at the state capitol. A public hearing was held on a slate of housing-focused bills. Fox 61's Matt Karen sat in on the committee hearing. He joins us live from the Capitol in Hartford. Matt.
Well, you might remember that last week's housing by internet issues, and it lasted until 5 a.m. Well, this time, no technology snafus so far, but the hearing is still continuing at this late hour through those double doors behind me, where 276 more people signed up to testify today.
Workers cannot exist without basic human needs: food, water, and shelter.
It's a sobering statistic. 250,000 households in Connecticut spend more than 50% of their income on housing.
And then we know over the last few years, rents have really increased. In some measures over the last 3 or 4 years have gone up about 20% or more.
So members of the public are keeping pressure on lawmakers to act during a public hearing Tuesday on a slate of 8 housing bills, including a proposal to cap rent increases at 4% annually.
Connecticut is for families. Families that deserve to know how much rent will be increased so that they can make necessary preparations. family that deserves to be able to work, live, and grow in our state.
And whether affordable housing is a bipartisan issue depends on who you ask.
I think there is room for bipartisan support to grow affordable housing.
I don't know it's going to be a bipartisan issue. We're hoping.
The main bill on Tuesday's docket, SB 7, would ban landlords from charging rental application fees. It provides dozens of homeless people and veterans with temporary housing. It creates a task force to study turning shopping malls and hotels into affordable housing, and it provides tax credits and vouchers to developers who invest. Lawmakers agree there's a problem.
There is a housing shortage.
But defining it is trickier.
If you ask a Republican for affordable housing, what that means for them is different than when you ask me as a Democrat what it means affordable housing.
Now, we actually just learned within the last few minutes that lawmakers removed language from Senate Bill 4 that would have capped the rent at 4% annually. I talked with Senator Marilyn Moore, who's the chair of the Housing Committee. She told me she did this out of efficiency. They heard 300 people testify on it just last week. So to speed things along, they removed it from the bill so people who signed up to testify today wouldn't be able to talk about that. That angered a lot of people who signed up today. They took the day off from work. They wanted to talk about capping the rent. They weren't able to do that. But Senator Moore did assure me that it doesn't mean that they're not interested in a rent cap proposal for whatever bill moves forward to the floor for a vote. For now, we're live here at the Capitol Complex in Hartford. Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
An important additional note there, Matt. Thank you. New at 6 tonight, 99 sheep and 1 goose were seized from a Beacon Falls farm after they were found in unsuitable living conditions. The Department of Agriculture responded to the farm after getting a complaint last Wednesday. At that time, 1 female sheep and her lamb were taken to a vet to get critical treatment. The rest of the animals were seized after the department determined that the farm's conditions were unsafe. The sheep will remain in state custody until the case is heard in court. It's unclear if anyone's facing charges.
Well, new details tonight. The information fair for Stone Academy students will resume tomorrow and Thursday. It was canceled after today's snow. Sessions are being held both days at 9 to 11 a.m., noon to 2 p.m., and 2 to 4 p.m. Representatives from Lincoln Technical Institute, Griffin Hospital, School of Allied Health Careers, Porter and Chester Institute, and the National Guard will be in attendance. Students will also be able to meet with OHE staff for information on applying for a loan discharge.